I've spent $25,602 on Whiteout Survival in 139 days. We're in phase 5 of state versus state prep. Let me show you what that means. This means it's kind of like an all-out, they call it Power Boost Day. It's kind of like an all-out day. We can do pet advancement today, which I've already done a bunch of, but I do plan to do some more pet advancement today in terms of refinement, because I skipped that on the pet day. I mithril in essence stones as far as hero gear goes. Let me tell you what I did. I did a whole bunch of stuff off camera. Some of you gave me comments like, hey, what did you do with those 2,000 essence stones? Let me tell you, I put them to good use, but I'm just trying to not have everything on camera, basically. I've been getting some advice from other people in the game who are more competitive. They're like, hey, yeah, everybody will see it in a battle report eventually, but you might as well not make it so obvious right from the gate on your videos. So that's what I did. I saved a bunch of that essence stone work. I know it's all content for me. I know it's very satisfying to see that, but you're just going to have to wait, and then I'll explain it after the fact. You're going to be, I'm almost out of essence stones and mithril, and you're going to be excited when I show you what I actually did with it. But I took all my gear off, all my heroes, so it's nowhere to be found anywhere. It's just sitting in the backpack, not on any of the heroes, and that's where they're going to stay for now. So the other thing we got today, we got fire crystals, which I can't do I can't do anything with, and speed ups, which maybe I can do some more expert skills if I wanted to, but that's just about it. So the other thing we have is chief gear, and that is something I've been planning for. So I'm going to refer to my little cheat sheet. I've been planning for this chief gear, and we do have some spending to do on chief gear tonight as well, because of course they give you a deal when it's chief gear day. So let's get into it. First, let's take care of some of the spending, because I am going to try to slow my spending down now. First of all, Frosty Fortune is over, so this is all done. I bought what I needed to do. If we look at the deals section, we got the last day of Vault of Enigma, so I'll grab that, and this will give me my charms. And then we've got, so I'll claim that. Then we got crystal reactivation. Now, here's the thing. I do want to be slowing down a bit, but this is actually a pretty good deal, but I don't want to keep on pressing it all the way to the max. Here's what makes this a good deal. Basically, the rate, if you look at the rate of these, what it converts to, is it converts to a rate of about 6 fire crystals per dollar, plus a random bet if you're going to get more. Now that random bet can, boost your rate quite a bit, or just a little bit depending on how lucky you get. But essentially it's probably not going to be much more. On average, it's not going to be much more than like 7 per dollar or something. So it's kind of worth it to have a little fun. It's worth it for the VIP points for me, but I'm not going to go all out in it today. So I'm just going to, in fact, I don't even think I want to, because I still have a bunch of these. I'm not going to waste any gems on it today either. So I'm just going to buy this up to a couple levels. I have so much fire crystals right now, and I know I'm going to need more eventually, but I'm just going to buy it up to the $20 just because it's, a good deal to kind of, it's no worse than the $6 deal you normally get. Then we'll take our travel rewards, sign in and earn it, my dead shot claim. Now we do have 5. Let's see how the dead shot works. I don't know. I don't even know what to do with Deadshot anymore. My luck is all over the place on this. So let's. Come on, man. Come on. I mean, they need to write a book about this. It's just epically bad luck. It's like they've coded Deadshot against me specifically at this point. It feels personal at this point. If you were me, wouldn't it feel personal to you? Like every single time. I don't understand it. Anyways, moving on. Friggin' Deadshot. Let's see. The next thing as far as spending goes, let's take a look at the normal shop here. And custom armament chest, I'm not going to max that out. I've already done a bunch with pet chests, and I could actually press this some more because I do need some pet stuff. So I don't know, man. But I just don't want to keep on spending a lot when we're going to have better pets coming soon. So the ones that I have, I'll just kind of keep on progressing them. I already did a bunch of research work, so I don't feel the need to press this to 20, and we do have some chief gear stuff to do tonight, so I'm definitely just going to buy this up to the $10 mark for now, and I'll see if I need more, because this is like just kind of like working towards my VIP requirements anyways for the, just to try to get some VIP tickets for the Frost Sphere, and I think that's pretty much all we have. I could actually grab this for the speed ups, because I did use a bunch of speed ups on research the other day, and I guess for VIP efficiency's sake, this isn't so bad for $5 there. And we already did that. And this is what I was talking about, this Friar Crystal Value Pack. This is also 6 per dollar. But if you have this And the other one, the crystal revitalization one, that special deal, like it's better to get the special deal because there you have 6 as your baseline plus a chance of getting more. So this does come with some speed ups. I didn't compare the speed ups though. So I had to cut and look at this again because this is basically 64 hours of speed ups with 120 fire crystals, and that's what you get here. So if we look at the deal here, the crystal reactivation, the 121 comes with 56 hours. So it's actually a little less on the hours, but you get a chance at a reward that can make the fire crystals pay off a little bit more. So I don't know. I mean, this is a little bit more of a gamble. They're actually probably almost equivalent in practice because the stats on this are so ridiculously against you. Like, it is really hard to get anything more than, look, after getting 50, it's really hard. Like, the chance of you getting 200 is only 0.5. 100 is, 1.5%. So really, you have 6, 7, 8.5%. Is that right? 5, 6, 7.5%. 7.5%. 5, 6, 7.5% chance of getting something good, and basically all the rest, a chance of getting something mediocre, like 20 or less. So, chances are every time I've played this, I got the 20 or less, and it really didn't push the needle, move the needle too much. And you get less speed ups. So, it's interesting. It's interesting dilemma there, but essentially you don't get as much as I thought. But you do get a little chance to play around with the whatever you call that, fire crystal chest. Kind of get a little bit of a gamble there. So we'll just redeem what I can here. All right. And then I'll just continue redeeming this stuff. So just to grab it, because it's free fire crystals at that point when you just convert them. So, but I didn't realize until I studied it that it's actually, it's almost an equivalent deal because of the loss of the speed ups. So coming back to the standard deals, I am going to grab these Conqueror pack and Ice Traveler pack, only because it does come with a teleporter and some March accelerators and stuff like this. And at the $5 level, it's okay for VIP. I do need to, even spending this $5 a day, that's okay. But I am spending a little bit more still. I need to count this down. 10, nice, that's a good hit. All right, make my claims here. But as you can see, my spending is slowing down a little bit as compared to, especially from most recent days. I need to kind of get down to a more reasonable level of spend per day. And yeah, so that's all the standard deals there. And the custom armament chest, need to clear that. Okay. So, and if we look at the event section, we really don't have much else. What we really have going on is the state of power. That's all we need to focus on tonight. So coming back to state of power and pushing my stuff tonight, there's a couple things I want to focus on: pet refinement and chief gear. Like I said, I'm not going to focus on hero gear tonight. It's just, and widgets. I knew there was one thing I was missing. So main thing I want to focus on tonight for this video are widgets, chief gear, and pet advancement. So first things first, let's go and take care of the widget work. So come in here, and basically I want to get the widget work done first. I can max these widgets out. I've been saving and planning for this. And we'll see how many points that translates to.
Law is the
then we're going to get Greg's up there. A bunch of you asked me to do troops yesterday, wanted me to slam troops. I did a little bit of troop work just to take advantage of the troop, buff that the president activated, but nothing too crazy. So we'll take a look at my power as well. So let's see, those are the two I wanted to do mainly. And then,
I'm back.
let's see.
We're ready.
Yeah, the rest of these are like Gen 2 and Gen 1 that I would also like to get up. And Flint, I don't think I have enough to do. Yeah, I only have 2 of those. And Molly, don't have enough to do either. So I still need to do some Gen 1 and Gen 2 widgets if I want to try to get Flint and Molly up. And I'll just kind of, that'll be a little pet project that I do over time, because it's just nice to have those multiple strong marches for stuff like Foundry.
Hey, enough
So
sitting around.
that's the widget work. Let's see what that looked like in terms of power. Well, that was enough to clear my daily requirements for sure. And point ranking, 3 million, 3.4. Can we see it? Yeah, 3.4 mil. So that's what we got from just the widget work. Just the widget work. Now the next thing I'm going to take a look at, I've been waiting to do my chief gear. So let's take a look at that. All right, now I would very much like to max out all of my chief gear today. I was planning for it. I have everything I need, but that hardened alloy is just so hard to come by. It trickles in, and if you don't buy it, it just takes forever to get. So let's just start by maxing out the marksman gear, because this is already maxed out. I can't go any further with this until we get whatever upgrade is unlocked. So let's max out the marksman gear. All right, so now that marksman gear is maxed out. And let's get this chief gear up to T2. All right, so what's going to happen here is I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to run out of hardened alloy, basically. You can see it's already down to 130,000. I have plenty of the other materials, but not the hardened alloy. So the question is, like, do I want to just keep on saving and getting it at the lower tier levels? And then maybe at the next SvS Prep, I'll push it all the way. I think maybe just I'm trying to come back to being efficient and not spending wildly. So we get these up to T2 1 star for now. I think that's plenty of an edge. You know what? We could go a little bit farther, but not much. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy the top chief up to the $20. That's not too bad. I could go to the $50 mark and press it a little bit further, but you know, I've been doing a bunch of spending lately. I've already done a bunch of spending today, trying to get back to better habits of not going crazy all the time. So let's just push one of these up, one more star, and that's going to be it for tonight. And that's pretty good progress. That's really close to being maxed. And then next SvS, I'll be able to do even more. If I really wanted to, I just have to buy out the rest of that pack, and I'm pretty sure that would be enough to get me over the hump to be able to finish off the chief gear. But like I said, I'm trying to save a little bit more for next SvS Prep, and not just trying to get back to the fundamentals of trying to be a little bit efficient at least. Not always like going all out, going crazy. So that's the chief gear. Let's see what that turned into for points. All right, that put a bunch of points on the board, almost double what I had. Yeah, a little bit more than double than what I had. I think it was at 3.3 mil, and now I'm at 6.8 mil. So that's pretty nice. But we're not done yet, because I'm just getting started on the pets. So if you're somebody who likes to see the pet grind, buckle in, because that's what we're about to do. If you don't like to see the pet grind, this is the part where you're gonna fast forward a little bit as you see what I'm about to do. But this is, I've got common wild marks, got a lot of them. And basically I've got a bunch of pets that need refinement. So here, well, it's a little bit debatable, but some people want to see me take even the lower level pets to purple. I don't really want to do that though. Like I think it's generally a good idea to have your strategy be that the color of the pet is the color of refinement you max at. So we've got a purple pet, we go to purple, right? We've got a blue pet, we go to blue, but in this case I went to purple. So maybe the rule is you can go one higher than your refinement level. I don't know. But this one I did because it's got some good attack stats enough. I just don't want to waste all the common wild marks on pets that aren't really worth it, when we have other more significant pets coming soon. So it's not bad to kind of press them a bit. But this guy's definitely a purple, and he's only sitting at green. So let's get this refinement started, and let's see how long it takes to get him to purple. So there we have it. We're at purple now. I'm just going to let it float a little bit longer just to burn a little bit more stones. But essentially, just long enough while I'm talking about this. But essentially, you'll see that, like, you know, you're not going to get everything up right away. It can go all the way to 20 and still be purple. And, you know, essentially what I'll do is I'll use this for other events that give you points for pets eventually. But that's kind of all I need to do now is I just wanted to get them all purple so we got a good baseline for everything. So we'll leave it at this and check out what else we have to do. So now we've got the tape here. I think I got all these other ones to their own color. And so I'm going to focus on the others right now. So these are all to their color. Now you notice, even though this guy's purple, the reason is because as the pets go up, you see he's purple but 14.08%. And as the pets get better, he's blue and 14.53%. So I only did the other one because that's all the pets we had at the time and I needed to burn some stones. So now let's try to push his stats to purple as well, and let's see what stats we get out of him. All right, there we go. So that got everything to purple. I let it go a little bit because I was looking up some stuff on the side, but you know, it's all good for you know, pushing up some of the stats. So there we go. We got this snow leopard to purple now. So that pretty much aligns with my strategy of having, you know, each pet refined to the level of their, you know, the color of their level. So I think that's pretty good progress on the pets tonight. Let's take a look at what the stats end up looking like. That's nice. That's a nice bump for stats. And now, you know, it leaves me a little room to do a little bit more if I need to for certain events to get points and stuff like that. And of course, next SvS Prep, if I want to push them to the, you know, a little bit past purple or into the, you know, get the purple levels all the way up to the full max on the purple, we can do that as well. And I might do a little bit more if I need to for prep, but I don't think I need to right now. So I'm kind of conserve that right now. I think that's pretty good progress on the pets for tonight. So now let's see what that looked like as far as points go. And then there's one more thing I want to talk about. So that was a nice bump for points right there. And, you know, I do have a little bit more that I could do if I wanted to. We've got, you know, Chief Gear. So I'm still on the fence about the Chief Gear, man. I really did want to max it out tonight, but I don't know if I'll be able to. So while I was doing all that pet refinement, I had some time to think. I was talking to some people on the side, and, you know, I came up to two conclusions. I've been spending so much, and I've been wanting to press that Chief Gear to max for so long. Let's go ahead. I think I did some calculations. If I can get 125,000 more of the hardened alloy, then I can max out my Chief Gear tonight. And I've really been wanting to do that. It was just the only thing I couldn't get enough of is the hardened alloy, and I forgot about that part. So we've got that thing. And the other thing to talk about is my hero gear. So if you can see like what my power is right now, my power took a huge dip, right? It's because I took all the hero gear off. And the more I was thinking about it and talking with some friends in the game, it's like, I can't be that competitive. I live in glass house anyways. I'm doing everything out here on the open. People can, if I'm going to put the hero gear back on for arena, people are going to see it anyways. And it's hard to hide it ultimately. So let me show you what I did with my hero gear last night as well. But first, let's do a little more spending. Let's come over to the top chief, and I need 125,000 hardened alloy. So essentially, if I buy this out, Ooh, that is really close. That is really close, but I am going to need the vast majority of it. So we're going to grab that. Let's see where things stand with the... Okay, so I got 135, so good. I think that puts me over the top for what I need. So let's take care of that first, and then I'll get into the hero gear. So there we go. Oh, I didn't calculate right. I need 6,000 more, but I think I have something I can use for that. Let's see. Need to come back to the backpack. Actually, while we're at it, well, since I'm in here, let's just see if I get lucky on the fire crystal chest. That's not too bad, actually. Well, is it? 5 times 7? Yeah. I mean, it's not too bad. I didn't get particularly lucky there. But let's see. We have some chests here. Well, I guess I'll just clear some of these out. And put this in the bank, so I don't forget about it. But we have these custom chant chests, whatever they're called. So does it have... No, it doesn't have any... Oh, yeah, it does. Hardened alloys in here. So each one of these has some hardened alloy in it. Just depends how much. So let me grab a couple of these. And see how much hardened alloy I can get from them. $6,000, I think that's what I needed, so come back here. There we go. Alright. Chief gear is all maxed out now. And it only cost me a little money. So that's the chief gear. That's the chief gear. And now let's take a look at, let's take a note of the power, because this is the thing. What I ended up doing off camera last night is a couple people in the game reached out to me and said, hey, I noticed you had, and I said in the comments, I noticed you had a lot of gemstones, or a lot of essence stones. Why haven't you used them? And it's because I was planning on doing it off camera. But the more I thought about it, it's like so hard to hide because, you know, I'm going to put it on for arena. There's other things. So, you know, and it's what you guys want to see. So really, I should have just done it on camera last night. I apologize for that. I think I'm just going to do everything on camera from now on and not try to hide anything, because I can only be so competitive when I'm doing everything out in the open anyways as a content creator. So let me talk you through what I did here. So you already saw, if you're watching my previous content, you already saw that I pushed up the levels on the empowerment levels, basically. And so this hasn't really changed. But what has changed is the level of the gear, so the mastery level. So there's the empowerment level, the mastery level, and then the enhancement level. So I did some master forging last night, and if you can see, I used a lot of my stones. So I don't have a lot of stones anymore. And I could push it a little bit further, but like it takes so much. It takes so much. So let's see. I can do one more tonight here. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to put them... Oh, no, it looks like I have enough. I don't know. Before I do that, I'm going to put the hero gear back on some of the heroes, just so I don't lose the stuff that I want for some of the other ones for multiple marches. But that's essentially what I did. And then I came over to... Let's see. I'm going to go with my primary attack lineup. And I got these up to... You know, I got these levels up a little bit as well. And then...
The hunt only ends.
And then we got these levels up a little bit as well. So things are looking nice for that primary attack squad there. And now I'm just going to kind of quick equip some of these so that I don't lose some of the gear I need for, like... Whoops.
The burning teeth of heaven.
For some of these multiple marches.
Hello from the Dawn Alliance. It's been too long since my luck.
Yeah, I don't know how much I'll need, so let me come back here and we'll press this one more level. Oof, and there goes all my essence stones. Man. So, but I got now I got him up to level 18. And every one of those levels actually helps increase the gear strength, which is something I wasn't really paying that much attention to. So that's what my gear is looking like tonight, and that's pretty good. This is some pretty good account progress. I basically dumped quite a bit of mithril and quite a bit of the essence stones, essentially. So, and that after tonight's work, I got my widgets up to maxed as well. So the widgets are looking good on most of these heroes as well. Looking pretty nice overall. So there you go. There's my hero gear. If you stayed around this long in the video, you got to see the hero gear after all, even though I said I wasn't going to show it to you. Oh, and the hero gear mastery. Oh, well, you know, I'm spending over budget tonight anyways, and I just ran out of all my essence stones. So you know what? Why the hell not? Let's do it. You know what? And I got this little OCD problem that I need to see things in symmetry, so might as well take that. And I'm going to need to take some gear off some heroes, because 8 mythic. I mean, come on, man. It gets ridiculous, but
Enough say. It's not about
I don't, this mythic doesn't come out of nowhere, but oof, that is so much mythic gear. So here we go. All that mythic gear and just 180 more stones, and I get the belt up to level 18 as well. So there we go. One more thing. I mean, you know what? What do you expect? What do you expect from me? This was a high spending week. We all knew it was going to happen, right? We all knew it was going to happen. So maybe I'm in denial, but I need to slow down. I really need to slow down. That's what we got on hero gear. You saw the chief gear. We had the pets. And you see what my power is now? That's actually what my power is. Oh, we can't leave it like that. We can't leave it like that. I mean, I don't like just spamming troops for no reason, but we can't leave it like that. We need to do something about that. Just do a round. Get them all in sync again. There we go. So that's what my power is looking like after that work tonight. This has already been a long video, so I'm not going to get into the experts and some of the ancillary things, but I will do the Labyrinth because a lot of you like to see the Labyrinth after the upgrades, so let's give that a shot and see where things land. So we've got the Gear Forge. If I got this right, I think the starting point for this is like 60, 15, 25. And I did press a bunch of gear, so should get a bunch of levels out of this even without doing some of the exotic combinations you guys were suggesting to me. Yeah, these get progressively harder. It doesn't help when you get bad luck either, so. Oh. I'm just going to leave it like this because it seems like some of these are just bad luck. Well, maybe it's not bad luck now. I don't want to mess around with it too much, so I just want to get through this quick. Hey, got a couple more levels. There we go. All right, let's see where that puts me. All right, looking pretty good, looking pretty good. And again, I know this is stuff that other people are pressing too, so everyone's moving up. This is all good for our state. So, Research Center did a bunch of research the other day. And if I recall, research was basically the standard 50, 20, 30 type of deal. Oh, that didn't do as well as I thought for all the research that I've done. Still going though. Give that another shot. Yeah, looked like a bad roll. I just getting bad rolls? No? Looks like it might be worth playing around with the troops a little bit. Hey, got another level out of that. Alright. That's all I get for tonight. And that's where things are looking like here. Again, not too bad. Everyone's pushing. I know everyone's pushing. So looking pretty good though. Alright, so that's Labyrinth. And with that, let's just finally check on VIP and see where things look there. I did do a little bit more spending, so need to make sure that I grab whatever I got there. And look at that. We got 1 million VIP points to do worth of spinning. And I'm going to wait until I have a slow day to spin the wheel. Maybe I'll even think about doing it on a live, just kind of hanging out and doing one spin at a time during the live. But I got to decide what to do about that. It's nice for a slow day or for maybe a hangout session with a live. But I got a lot coming up, prepping for SvS and stuff. So it's going to have to wait until things slow down a little bit. And my work life. So it's going to have to wait till I slow down a little bit. So that's a lot of content for one video. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you stuck around this long, I really appreciate it. And the one thing I need you to do, if you want to continue to follow this journey and support me and see where things go with the spending, with my own personal growth and how that spending converts to power, you got to help me out by liking this video and then subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications. That way, whenever I post anything, you'll be the first to know about it. Thank you very much for joining me. And until next time, I'll see you later.